Hello, it's Lion here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're going to be doing our collecting goals review for the first quarter of the year, basically block one of the year, the first 3 months. And I do this pretty often, actually. I think I started doing them properly last year, but I've been thinking about doing stuff like this for a while, right? I always made updates about how I'm collecting and stuff. So basically, I always have two goals, right? Stay consistent and keep up. And well, they basically mean the same thing, but I use different words for them for like semantic reasons, and for like there's a slight nuance to them that works for me and makes it different enough that it makes sense to me, but also kind of has the same verbiage, so it allows me to maintain that kind of feeling that I want, right? But basically, consistency is key. It is the main goal of everything that I do. When it comes to buying manga. However, because I am so like rigid in the way I approach school and work, I like having a little bit of freedom or free will to kind of do things with more flexibility outside of that in my hobbies. And so even though I do want to stay consistent, I do give myself some leeway here and there, right? However, I've been pretty good at keeping up with stuff and doing things the way that I really wanted to do them. So I've been doing really good, which is also why yesterday's video, the unhaul video, basically only had two things in it, because I've been so good at only keeping up with the stuff that I care about that unhauling is becoming like not that necessary all that often. Like, is there stuff that I could definitely unhaul? Yes, but like the point isn't like unhauling everything immediately. The point is shuffling out things that I really don't care about in the collection, right? So yeah, also most of the stuff that I would be able to unhaul is actually stuff that I keep at my parents' house, stuff that I like or that I care about in some way, but I'm not actively collecting, and so technically unhauling would be the best way to go about it. But it's not the way that works for me emotionally, so that's why I don't unhaul things, right? So moving on to the actual kind of meat and potatoes of this video. So I actually managed to catch up or get caught up to like 18 series in this last little bit of time here. So I managed to buy 4 more volumes of No Guns Life. So in May, when there's the free comic book day sale at my local comic book shop, I'll be able to get the last 3 volumes, and so I'll be completely caught up with that. I got one more book of Bride's Story. I finished collecting Adam, the beginning in Spanish, or at least I caught up to the current volume that's out right now. 18 was recently solicited in Japan, so it's probably going to be like a year before it comes to Mexico. I got one book of the One Piece data books. I got the deep blue one, which means I'm missing the one before it, which would be green. But that one was out of stock, so I couldn't buy it. I got one more volume of Grassross, so I only have 3 left of those. I basically caught up to all of the things that I had mentioned in my first video of the year about manga collecting goals that I had said that I had wanted to buy, but I hadn't been able to get by the end of the year. So I caught up to all of those. I also caught up to things like Vinland Saga and Drifting Dragons and Witch Hat and stuff like that. And I've been keeping up with stuff like Loser Ranger and Chain Soldier and Crazy Food Truck, which is great, right? So basically I've been pretty good at doing that stuff, right? So my new kind of goals here are to finish collecting New Guns Life, which I have 3 volumes of. Make a dent in the Pokemon Adventures collection, so I have 9 of those volumes left. I would like to collect 4 of them this year, although I might be able to collect up to 6 if I save some money and wait for the right opportunity. I want to at least buy 1 more volume of Flowers of Evil, but this one is fucking impossible to find anywhere. I only ever find the first volume or the last volume, and volumes 2 and 3 are never at stores, and I'd rather buy it at the store, right? So it is what it is. Wotakoi, I actually had the opportunity this month with the Barnes & Noble sale to buy the rest of the volumes of Wotakoi that I wanted to buy, but I decided not to and instead get other things because I wanted to catch up the stuff that brings me a little bit more joy than Wotakoi does. I like Wotakoi, as much as the next person, but ultimately in the scale of like super favorite things to buy, Wotakoi is kind of low. So I preferred to go with Furi-san and Hitomi-chan instead of buying Wotakoi, right? So, but I only have the 3 volumes that are in the middle of the story, which would be volume 3, 4, and 5 to collect, and hopefully I get to do that by the end of this year. Then Gleipnir has officially finished in Japan. It's going to have 14 volumes. I have 4 of them right now, so there's 10 volumes left for me to collect. And the problem is that I never find volumes 5, 6, or 7 at my local stores. So that means that I have to jump around and skip around the story. And I don't really like doing that, so it's going to be up to, the whims of fate, or actually the whims of Barnes & Noble, to see what they stock, right? Same thing with Galt Gohan. I have 9 of these volumes left. And I can never find volumes 2, 3, or 4. So, again, it just has to be like whenever I find them, I'll buy them. In terms of stuff from the Spanish-speaking stuff that I buy, I have one One Piece data book left. I have started collecting Green Blood, which is a Masumi Kakisaki work, which is awesome because, I only have 4 volumes of that left, and I think that would be the only other Kakisaki work that I'm missing besides Rainbow, which is something that I'm not really going to buy because it's just so many volumes. Well, actually, no, I have one more other Kakisaki work that I have to pick up, which would be The Wife of the Spy. And then the latest Kakisaki work is actually coming out in English later this year. It was recently just announced by 7 Seas. So that's awesome. It's really, really cool. So I have 4 volumes of Green Blood to collect, which is kind of hard because volumes 3, 4, and 5 are always kind of out of stock at Book Depository. I have 3 volumes left of Grassross. And this one's always available, but it's always so expensive. So I have to wait for them to drop like $5 or $6 before I buy them. Or alternatively, I could buy them from Mexico, where they sell stuff in pesos. So the conversion rate actually makes it a little bit cheaper than buying from Book Depository for me. But it kind of adds this element of like I have to wait for an opportunity to go to Mexico. So I'm kind of balancing out stuff there. Other than that, I also have 9 volumes left of Yu Yu Hakusho, but again, that stuff is never in stock, so it has to be up to Panini. But in July, I'll probably end up going to Mexico this year because we didn't go during the winter, so we have to go at some point. And it's probably most likely that I'll end up buying the rest of the Yu Yu Hakusho volumes I need at that point, which is great. In terms of stuff that I have that I need to catch up with, that I haven't finished collecting, or that are series that are still ongoing, actually, that's the real division here, is Bright Story. I have 9 of those left because volume 14 just came out recently in Japan. Then I have Marry a Billionaire, which is a new series that I started picking up. It only has 4 volumes out right now. I couldn't find volume 2, otherwise I would have bought all 4 of them in one go, so I only got the first one. I really enjoyed it, so I want to pick up the rest of that. And there's 7 volumes total, so whenever the rest of them release, I'll actually end up picking them up as well. And Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is also one that I have that is ongoing that I still haven't really collected anything for. So I still have 9/10 volumes because I think the latest volume came out already. However, I did get the Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid Color Edition, which should be right there, which is cool. And it's kind of an extra item that kind of counts toward that. That isn't necessarily part of the main collection, right? So, yeah, in terms of stuff in Spanish, I have Sunken Rock, and I don't know how many volumes of this are left, but I have to collect from 6 onward. Then we have Isaac, I have to collect from 4 onward. And then Kangaashira, which I'm only stuck with the first 2 volumes, so volumes 3 and onward will be what I try to collect. But, again, these are always so expensive because shipping, I think, is actually the thing that's costing so much money. Plus, a Spanish manga is always raising its prices because they have a severe shortage of like raw materials there. So it's affecting the manga industry, right? So, yeah. Stuff that I have to keep up with that has slow updates would be Vinland Saga, Drifting Dragons, and Witch Hat Atelier. I'm currently caught up to all of them, so technically speaking, for most of these, I really only have to watch out for them like twice a year. In Vinland Saga, honestly, I picked up my volume for the year, so I have a whole year to wait before the next one. So that's it for that. Keeping up with stuff that has normal updates, like every 3 months. I am currently behind on Fire Force because I bought these first two, and I had the opportunity to buy the third one, but I decided not to because I'm actually not sure if I like Fire Force that much. I've kind of been going on with the thing that I like Soul Eater, so I'll probably like Fire Force. And I know that there is some connection between these two stories at some point. But I haven't really had the opportunity to read Fire Force beyond the first two volumes, right? So I was going to give these two omnibuses a try. These would be the first 5 arcs of the story. And at that point, I can decide if I like it and continue collecting it or not, right? So, yeah. In terms of other stuff like Gunbird Sisters, there's only 1 volume left of that, so I'm going to get it. It comes out sometime in April. We have Record of Ragnarok. I'm currently not really that interested in the Hercules versus Jack the Ripper fight, so I might let that volume slide until the next one comes out and then just buy both of them at the same time. But I haven't really decided. Komi, Kaiju number 8, both of them come out relatively, at the same time, and also they're always available at Walmart, so I have no rush and no difficulty getting these, which is great. Eden Zero, I finally caught up to it, and I'm gonna have to just wait for the next one, although these come out pretty fast actually. Mashal, I'm 1 behind on because volume 11 came out this month, but I haven't bought it. And I don't think I'll be able to buy it this quarter, so I'll have to wait until April. But I can buy it at Half Price Books, which means it's a little bit cheaper than usual. Then Chain Soldier and Go-Go Loser Ranger and Shy are 3 sets of manga that kind of I'm just going to go buy as soon as they come out, whenever that is. However, I think all of them already recently had a release. So it's going to be another 3 months or so before I have to buy another one, which is good. Beauty and the Feast comes out whenever. Like, they always have like a estimated date when it's going to come out, but Square Enix has a bad rep, and so they always end up doing the same thing, which is that they say something's going to happen at one point, and then suddenly it's like 2 months later, and it hasn't happened, so you have to wait and see. Dress Up Darling has the same issue, but Dress Up Darling number 8 is about to come out soon. However, I probably won't buy Dress Up Darling number 8 until May, when I go to my local comic book shop during their free comic book day sale, because that's the cheapest way to get it, right? So, yeah, other than that, I have to continue collecting Solo Leveling, which I'm completely caught up with right now in both editions, which is good. And I have some other stuff, but it really depends on how it comes out, where it comes out. Other than that, I do have some new series that I want to try to keep up with. First of all, in April, Boys Abyss and Tista come out. And Tista is by the same author as Spy X Family, which is a series that I bought on a whim and completely collected. However, number 9 just came out, so I have to buy that soon. But it's available at Target and stuff, so should be easy to get. So Boys Abyss, Tista, and I think that's actually it for new releases that I'm interested in that are coming out Q2 of the year. Not really sure, but I do think that's it. So that means that I will have a pretty easy time collecting as long as I maintain my consistency, right? Which is great, because usually, I think most of last year, I would just spend all of these videos just talking about the stuff that I didn't collect and how I decided to collect something else instead, even though I had a plan. So it's nice to have a plan and completely follow it. And it feels really nice to be able to do that. So overall, this was a success. I had a great time this first quarter. I bought a lot of manga, a lot more than I usually do. And I do think that that's going to start going down. There's going to be a bit of an up spike in May, but then after that, it's going to be pretty minimal. And I'll have to be really picky and choosy about what stuff that I really want to get, because, that's just kind of how money flows in my life at the moment. So yeah, that's it. I know it's not a really interesting video, but it's one that I find value in, so I hope you guys found some value in it too and enjoyed it, even if it's just me rambling about what I got or what I didn't get. And thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know what you guys collected this first quarter and how you're doing about your collecting this year. And thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.